the world today, as many as 200 million children are subjected, 200 million children are subjected to abusive labor practices in sweatshops, in mines, in factories, and in the fields. The more advanced and mobile our productive technology gets, the more easily it can be run by children in impoverished countries. Global trade may bring great riches to multinational corporations and even to some developed nations. But for millions of children around the world, it is an unmitigated disaster, bringing oppressive working conditions, rampant illiteracy, unbroken cycles of poverty, and an ever-widening gap between rich and poor. Incredibly, the GATT Treaty not only ignores this problem, it will encourage even more employers to exploit the children of the third world in the manufacture of goods for U.S. and other developed markets. GATT completely ignores the problem of child labor and will only make matters worse. Children who make mistakes in their work are beaten and tortured. When children cut their fingers doing weaving, some employers even scrape sulfur into the child's wounds and then set the wounds on fire to prevent the child from bleeding on the carpet fibers. Some employers have even branded their children child workers to indicate ownership. I'm not making this up. I didn't dream this last night. It is true. It is outrageous. Just look at these pictures. This girl, too small even to reach the spindle, spends 14 hours a day spinning silk thread in Bangladesh. This child does not go to school, but instead works 14 hours a day in a silk thread mill in Magadhi, India. These bonded carpet workers are forced to work because of debts owed by their parents in Mirzapur district in India. What are we doing? How can we be indifferent? Doesn't the milk of human kindness run somewhere through our bodies? Instead of doing something about it, we're slamming the door and saying we can't do anything about it in the future. It's a travesty for us to pass GATT, not do anything about child labor. As parents and grandparents, we have an obligation to exclude the products of child labor from our markets. GATT won't accomplish this. It will actually prevent us from taking such a step. GATT may be a boon for many of the world's multinational corporations, but for the world's kids, GATT, G-A-T-T, spells disaster. Mr. President, each member of this body is sworn to uphold and to defend the Constitution of this great nation. As such, our highest obligation is to preserve the sovereignty of this country and the powers of its elected bodies to write the laws that govern our people. I can draw no conclusion other than that this Congress and our trade negotiators should go back, Mr. President, should go back to the drawing board and create a trade agreement instead of a document promoting world government and fiscal irresponsibility.
I believe that we did not meet the last and most important goal, that is, of preserving U.S. sovereignty, and we are not assuring that the middle-income American receives enough of the benefits that the large companies under this agreement themselves will reach. But there is a deeper, more fundamental issue involved. No trade agreement, no matter how good a deal is worth sacrificing our basic rights as American citizens. I'm afraid that the new World Trade Organization this bill creates will do just that. And that risk is too great. But what else is happening? What is happening is the major companies, those in a position to take advantage of this new world order, are getting the benefits. What also is happening? That the average middle-income American is not getting in on the deal. He's not getting the benefits.
I was strongly opposed to NAFTA because it would create relocation incentives which would cause severe job losses in this country, particularly in labor-intensive manufacturing